Hello, hello, hello. I am back, y'all. Happy Sunday. What's going on? Hey, Bobby, you back again? You just follow me all around YouTube, Barbara. I love it. Hey, Barb, Monica. Lemon Kush, what's going on? Puff Puff Pass, what's going on? Hey Candy, what's up? What's up? What's up? All right, yes, please hit the like button on everybody's channel. Please, please, please hit the like button. Okay. Hey, Mr. Harris, what's going on? All right, we're gonna get into it. Okay, y'all, we are here to talk about these. Hey, Sally, what's going on, Sally? We here to talk about these monsters, these Menendez brothers. And y'all, I had just about enough of these people. I am drained. Keep talking about them. I'm drained. Even keep looking at all these documentaries. Yet I keep looking at them. And so many documentaries. It's been tons of documentaries for the past few years, but it seemed like as of late, there's been more and more and more. And there's been lots of made for TV movies over the years about them as well. But because they're trying to get out of prison now, we got more and more and more of, information about these people. So, and I don't know if I'm the best representative for the people because I want them to stay in prison, but it is what it is. It looked like they might get out maybe in November, December, something like that. So we shall see. And but anyway, let me bring up the people, bring up my friends. Let's see. Is Moochie here? Oh no, she's not here yet. Well, is Moochie? I don't see her camera. No, let me take her off until she's ready. Is Nita here? I don't think Nita's ready yet either. Okay. Oh, is Nita she here? Let me see. What? Oh, I got two Nitas. Wait a minute, what's going on here? Nita, you here? And then what's about Torian? Torian here?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I don't know if okay, I'm gonna remove Nita till she tell me.
She put it in the chat. She put it in the chat that she was there.
Oh, I ain't even say it. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. I'm sorry.
I forgot to unmute. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. How you doing, Nita?
I'm doing okay. We got the C19 over here, so.
Oh,
wow.
I heard.
I'm asymptomatic. I'm asymptomatic. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm just a caretaker.
Look, at this point now, it's like having a bad flu anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as it was at the beginning when everybody was falling out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now it's like having a flu. So I mean, I've had it twice. So
yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, I think Torian just had it not that long ago too. So
yeah, had it back in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Right. Hey, Tamika.
What's going on, Tamika?
Hey, Tamika.
I'm ready to hit Tamika go off tonight. I always say Tamika, when Tamika be going off, that'd be hilarious. I'll be in the chat cracking up when Tamika be going in.
She'd be going in.
Right. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Is Moochie not? Oh, I don't even see Moochie yet. Okay. She'll pop in, I guess, when she's ready. But anyway, y'all, I said let me go ahead and wrap up these people because I don't know if Tamika can hear me. I don't know. She might not be on.
Yeah, I'm here. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, you hear me? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I said, let me go ahead and wrap up these dudes because I done had about enough of them. You know?
We've been here way longer than we needed to.
Right.
We should, yeah. And yes, Sally. Well, they say in November, the judge, I guess they're going back to court, or their case is going back to court. I don't know if the two guys have to be in court, but their lawyers, they're going in front of the judge, or the judge is going to come up with the ruling in November. I guess say it that way. So, and that doesn't mean they're going to get out in November. They could not. They still, it could get out immediately, or it might be a delay. I don't know. But the way it's going,
that's crazy.
It sounds like it's going to happen. And y'all, I did what I always do, and I say I shouldn't do. I went down a damn rabbit hole, and I went on TikTok. They got over 7 million, maybe 700 million. I'm sorry, TikTok pages. Now I didn't look at all of them, of course, but I just scrolled through a bunches and bunches of them.
Wow,
there are so many people that want these guys to come out. So many people that's in support of them, and they want them to get out. They believe their story, and they said no matter what, even though they unalive the parents, they need to get out. It's been too long, and so I said, ugh. I don't know. I always got mixed feelings about. It's even much as I done watched all these documentaries, I done seen all these things. I still got this mixed feelings. I don't know why I can't shake my mixed feelings. I'm not 100% on board with them. Yet I think something happened. I just still don't think they should be on the street. I don't know. It just could be me. I'm not trying to be ignorant or anything. I just don't, just got mixed feelings.
Yeah, I get it.
And imagine how long it would take for them to readjust the society, because they've been in jail for well over half their life, and they've been locked up since the 90s. So that means they missed out on 2.5 decades.
Yeah. I mean, they say they've done all this good work in behind bars and got their degrees, and and they got all these programs that they help others, victims, survivors, or whatever. They say they've done a whole lot of great things since they've been in there, which I'm glad. If you go, that's the whole point, is to be really rehabilitated. If you're going, most people don't get rehabilitated. They just come back and end up doing the same mess again, and it becomes a cycle of a revolving door. So I don't know. I do think something funky happened in that house. I just, and unfortunately, everybody on this panel and everybody in the world got their opinion. Everybody's opinion. Some people we for. Some people say they're against them. Some people like me are like, I don't know, whatever. But we're never really gonna know the truth. What really happened, because the only people that know is Erik and Lyle, and then the mother and the father, Jose and Kitty. And Jose and Kitty can't speak on their behalf, so nobody really knows what really happened. So
yeah, we've been saying that since the beginning. I mean, I feel like I still feel the same that I've been feeling. This watching this didn't make me change on how I feel. I feel like something did happen as far as some of the accusations, but I still feel like you did what you did, and you had to pay for the crime. And I still don't want them out. My opinion hasn't changed, but they may get out. And I'm not surprised by them having supporters. A lot of these takeouters, no matter whether it's serial ones or any other ones, have supporters. So that doesn't surprise me. And I'm not surprised that it's a mixed emotion. I mean, reactions. And at the end of the day, they have the right to appeal and try to fight to get out. Many people do. It doesn't always mean that they do get out, but we shall see what's going to happen. I'm interested.
Okay, because I ain't see your camera at first. Okay.
Hey, Moochie.
I agree, Tamika. I agree. I know. Miss Kara and I had a conversation going back and forth on texting each other the other day about it. And
I'm sorry, y'all. I just woke up.
Oh no, that's
Oh,
okay. It's
good.
okay. Child, I'm tired too. After we finish with this, your girl gonna chill out for the rest of the day, the rest of the night. But yeah, Miss Kara and I was texting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then Miss Kara is on the same page with you, Tamika. And she said to me, she said, Inga, look, I don't care. You just don't believe these guys. And I'm like, I believe really something happened to Erik. Lyle has just been lying. I said Lyle is a liar. He did so much lying now. Could he been lying because he just don't want people to know that? I don't know. I mean, neither am I. What am I wrong? I don't want to sound ignorant because I do believe victims. Neither. So I'm not saying like I don't believe somebody when they say that. I'm talking about these guys because of the story and they've been lying so much. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Well, at least Lyle anyway. Lyle.
I mean, I get that. Yes. They both strike me as sociopaths, but at the same time, I understand your frustration because two things can be true.
Right.
They could have been getting abused and they could have been, and this unfortunate tragedy happened. The way I see it, I just feel like there's no coming back from this one. I'm sorry. The fact that they got off of the death penalty because the lady had
yes. I got little pictures of that thing. Miss Kara said to me, Miss Kara texted me and said, Inga, that's you that lady. I said, yes, that would have been me in the courtroom.
Yeah, you have to make sure you get that part.
That would have been me screaming.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh either. I don't mean to laugh because it's not a laughing matter, but God, dog.
But she, that actress, she acted that role. That's why I did laugh because she got up.
Listen,
she
that was the
screaming.
literal definition of stress will kill you.
Yeah, right. In real time.
Yeah.
But that's how Inga been standing on business. Like, I don't believe nothing they got to say. They lying. I don't want to hear it. I don't believe them. And
right.
I honestly, at the end of the day, feel like for as much as Ryan Murphy, not Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy.
It was the razzle dazzle. I feel like he believed you because if you watch it to the end, it's kind of like you gave us all of that, but you still believe like that they ain't ish and they did it and they just was brats. So I mean, that's what I took from it at the end.
Oh yeah, when the mother and father was on the boat at the very, very end. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was interesting how he set it all up because he started out like it was a party and it was comedy and I don't know what was going on, and then when we got to that end,
yep. He's like,
Moochie,
and they did that ish.
I think, I mean, we're gonna go through the, go through the whole little thing, but
I just couldn't believe he got on there talking every night with that girl, telling her all of the details. He was talking like nobody was listening to their calls.
Right.
Listen to all,
and that's why
I say, nah, let him talk. Let him keep talking.
That's why I say that I don't know if I believe Lyle. You know what I'm saying? More so the Erik from the big, even if you go on YouTube and watch the actual case, the court proceedings that's on YouTube, you can see like 2 and 3 hours long. They he was busting out crying in the courtroom and stuff like that. So he always looked, and if you look at the old interviews he did with Barbara Walters and other stuff, Lyle always looked like he was distraught or this whole thing. But Erik, I mean, especially when I mean, not what I said. Erik was the one who I got it mixed. Yeah, Lord, I get both of them mixed up. Erik was the one, the youngest one, was the one who always looked sad and depressed and upset. But it was Lyle who was like he was ordering a $2,500 wig so he can
you have to look good in court. The media.
He's talking about he used the same person that did OJ's hair treatment or something like that. It was just funny.
Oh yeah.
That it was just funny stuff going on. And then, but yeah, he was talking to the he had, well, like Tamika said, it's not unusual. People still do that to this day. And Tamika know because she watches Love After Lockup. So to this day, they are fascinated by people in prison. They write letters, especially people who are like those big time serial killer people like that. They love
Yeah,
them, you know.
listen, it's a girl on Love After Lockup that was in a car accident that almost took her life. She have a scar on her neck. She goes back to where the accident happened at, and she literally went online to find a prisoner that is had a DUI. And this is who she wanted to be, get married to. She tracked him down, and I was like, okay, listen, I don't know.
Okay, Nene says so. Hey, Nene. Said, if you heard the actual phone calls, you know he didn't say anything incriminating. So he never did that in real life. I mean, this is Ryan Murphy's
Right.
version of it. Like you said, with the razzle dazzle of it, you know. So we don't.
Oh, yeah,
she did put out a book.
We're reviewing the show, but at the end of the day, if you want to know all the real facts, they literally have hours and hours of it. Documentaries, is countless of them. I mean, it's not hard.
Erik. I do believe Erik.
Yeah,
I definitely believe
Erik. I believe Erik. But as far as Lyle, his story is questionable.
It's questionable. That's the only thing.
Maybe it happened when he was younger, but to me, I think of a lot of stuff. If you knew you was already away at school and you did all of this plagiarism, you know, to me, if your parents was that abusive, you would be afraid of what they're gonna do to you when they find that out. He seemed like it seemed like whatever they did, they had no remorse for it. Even when they robbed the house. Look, once again, I'm going by the show. I'm not going by I'm going by what happened in the show.
Yeah.
Now, I really do think Erik was abused. I don't know about Lyle. I think Lyle did it more for the money. That's my thoughts.
Child, the way Ryan made it seemed like they was doing the thing, them doing
right.
Not the parent, but
right. That's the way Ryan Murphy put it. Where he get where he get the information from? It got to be right. I mean, he could made it up, but I mean, where did he get the information from? And I just want to say that Nene says so. Please watch the documentary tomorrow. But yes, look, I have seen a bunch of these documentaries. So my opinion has swayed back and forward. Not just the one Netflix coming out tomorrow. HBO Max has one going that came out last week. Peacock got the one with the Menudo thing, and then there's been so many over the years.
It's
Dateline,
like
2020, all them shows have been talking about this.
And I think that's what he did. I think he cherry picked from the actual trial and then all the different like stories and speculations and put it into one thing. So some of it was true and some of it wasn't.
Right.
Not to mention,
but they do that with all these docuseries. We talk about that all the time. Even when it's biographies and they make it into a movie, they still take their own liberties and change something. Right. So we are very aware of that.
Yeah, unless you're doing it yourself, right? That's the only way that you're gonna get the truth, right? Because someone else is doing it. If I do a documentary on y'all, I'm only probably gonna get 5% right, and the rest of it could be all made up stuff. So,
but I also feel they took a little bit too much from Dominic Dunn, and he has a set opinion on this already.
Right,
he has a set opinion that he does not want to change.
He wrote books, he wrote articles. He used to write for Vanity Fair, and he wrote books on this. So he could be from him too.
He was one of the first ones to come out with a crime documentary show where he explains the things vivid like a novel.
So I think that's where all the incest came from, was from him, to be perfectly honest with you. And then wasn't he supposedly in the closet or something like that?
Allegedly. That's what they
allegedly have other people.
Yeah, I just say allegedly. I mean, that's what they say. I've heard that over the years about him, you know. I'm just saying all this is alleged. Even everything that we talking about is all alleged because none of us was there. We don't know, and the two people who could testify say anything about it, they're gone. So we don't. Nobody know. There's no cameras in the house, nothing. So we don't know. It's not like a case like Diddy or something where it's cameras and a whole lot of stuff. No, we don't know what really happened. You know. So, and I understand what you're saying. And Nene says so. Said Ryan. He didn't use a lot of the information from the court. I understand that. I mean, but they had to make it into an interesting TV. It's like a soap opera. So that's what they do.
Exactly.
True, up until the point where the kid had where Erik had the popsicle in his mouth, and they showed how that happened. So I do believe Erik, but Lyle, he seemed like I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. The way they portrayed him on here, he looked like a cocaine
or something. Yeah,
a psychopath, and he got off on all of this.
It do seem that way. It do seem that way.
And I feel like he manipulated his brother. He used that as like, now, like, I know we're gonna be disowned, so let me use this as the perfect example right now.
That's the way they made it. That doesn't mean that it's that I'm right. I'm saying that, you're not right, but I'm agreeing with you. And Tori, you ain't really had to say anything. You got any opinion about it too? Oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Miss Care, who was it? Miss Care was talking.
No, I was just saying, like, I'm not on Lyle's side at all, but I just feel like being raised in the same household, you can get two entirely different perspectives, and people can handle things two different ways. So I feel like a lot of stuff that he did, I think they probably both sociopaths, to be perfectly honest. You can just see it more in him, and I feel like he handled things differently, like the robberies and stuff was like he did things more so for attention. Than like Erik did from the dad, because he kind of looked up to the dad. At least that's what I'm taking from it. What's fact and fiction, we don't know, but this is like,
that's the thing.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. But go ahead, Tori.
I would say that Law definitely had a vanity issue for sure, especially like how it was almost like he was like leading the whole thing, especially when it came to what they were doing after their parents were unalived. And going on the sprees and all the other stuff like that. It's like, of course, with Erik being a younger brother, he's going to follow behind whatever the older brother is going to do. That's typical when it comes to older and younger siblings. So when I look at it from either side of the the aisle, at the end of the day, one thing we know for certain is both of them took out their parents. It wasn't just one or the other.
Exactly.
They decided to make a conscious decision to do what they did in a very brutal way. Like, and the thing is, they could have backed out of it if they wanted to, but they both decided, you know what, we already made it this far. Let's go the distance with it. And that's exactly what they did. So at least if we know if there's some shaky things with the stories and everything, one thing we know is for certain is that both of them took out their parents.
Right. And we got like Dominic Dunn. It was this. So this is 7, 8, and 9. I'm just kind of combining them all together. So they mostly in order, the pictures and everything, but we just combined it and just talking about the rest of it in whole. But at the beginning of 7, it opens up with Dominic Dunn at his court case with his daughter, and that was the guy who allegedly I'm allegedly, even though I think he did do it, but allegedly that he took that was a tragic story, and I think that's why Dominic Dunn felt the way he felt about this situation is because what happened to his own daughter, which was very tragic, So,
oh, absolutely. Everybody's gonna have a different perspective based off of their experiences. We talked about that many times, based off of what they went through, how they was brought up, all that different stuff comes into factor. I mean, you can't blame him after what happened to his daughter, for feeling a certain way. But even as this trial was going on, he started being like, wait a minute. But and initially it was like, oh, now we gonna say this and that happened. So I can't blame him. I probably would feel that same way too.
Yeah, If you was in the same situation, you feel. I could see why he felt like that. He's biased, because of the situation. Yeah. And then this is when we're talking about. Now we don't know if this happened or not. That we only go sticking on this story that Lyle is talking to the girlfriend that he had when they were younger, and when he was like high school or whatever, the college, and then some of his friends, or I think this one guy's his cousin, the guy with the beard, I think, and the other guy I guess was a friend. But however, he was talking to them, trying to get them to say that Jose, did something to them, tried to come on to them, and just these whole big elaborate lies. Had him locked in the closet with feces all over him and all kind of stuff like that. And and they're saying, look, that didn't happen. I can't lie. I can't go in there and say this stuff happened. I don't know if this really happened or not, but
that thing that the last one that you sent to me, Inga, with that the A&E part 2, I think it was Erik's story where he was talking from the jail. They were saying, one of the cousins was saying on there that he found a Tupperware container under the bed or something like that. So I don't.
What, with number 2 in it?
Yeah, I think one of the cousins did say that. So
I don't know if he found anything in it, but he was saying that he used it to go to the bathroom when he got anxious and something with the
Sound like that lazy child.
The parents
walk to the bathroom.
not at that big grown age. I think they was older, but in any event.
Let me be quiet because people be too sensitive nowadays.
I know. That's why I'm
some nonsense.
I know.
And some of this stuff I don't believe. It is what it is. I feel like they had enough time to concoct these stories. If you calling these people in here to change stories and say what didn't happen, those calls are recorded too. That's recorded too.
That's why I don't think that they did that in jail. Like if they had the conversations with them, they probably
information from. It's just he just made it up for the television. I mean, like
I said, it was in that A&E, so maybe he took that and said, "Okay, I'm gonna say that when they were in the jail that he said X," because he could have done this. I just don't think you would have done that on no jail phone. The same way the girl was like, he didn't say all that stuff to the girl on the phone. So it's just like, I don't know.
He could have been talking
to. I can't say that I remember everything. I know I did watch a few documentaries, and I also, when we first was talking about it, remember it in real time because I remember my mother, watching it all the time. It was the big story then. But I can't be like I'm some expert that remember every single detail. So I don't remember if they actually did that part or not. But I know that listen, there was a lot of bogus stuff.
Fantastical.
Yeah. And it's like the way that they showed it, I can understand how it was a hung jury the first time around, and I can understand how they got convicted the second or the third time around, because I think it was 3 altogether, right?
Yeah,
I can understand. I see it. I'm not confused behind
even Lyle's lawyer. She knew that he was not being truthful. I mean, both of the lawyers, they knew that he wasn't being truthful right here. That thing when he opened up the refrigerator and it was like a ferret's head in the refrigerator or something like I don't know. Maybe Brian Murphy did.
He could have just made that
stuff out. Maybe he did just come up with this stuff. I don't know.
That's why I put my at the end Brian Murphy must stop.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like he was poking fun of it because by the time he got to the end, I'm like, okay, so clearly he feels like I said, they're just guilty. They're just brats. I'm going to throw all these theories out. I'm going to make it funny. I'm going to make them look crazy and make you look at them like they just, at the end, they just guilty.
But the stuff with the toupee really happened. I remember them talking about that in the paper.
Oh, but that was real.
I remember that. No, that in the paper. I'm from the 90s. Yeah. I'm from the 90s. It's all these younger people. Whatever.
Yeah, some of these people that's on that TikTok. When I said I went on TikTok, a lot of those people I saw, they wasn't even born during this time.
Right.
So they.
But that's what I was telling y'all when we first started it. I was like, I've seen people on TikTok and Twitter that was like, just they should be out. This should happen, that should happen. And then when we did our video last week, child. Somebody came up to I don't think Miss Kira and Nita heard about this one. This person left 2 long comments cursing us out, child, saying we was old heads. We don't know what the hell we talking about. I doubt they listened to the whole freaking review, because if they did, then they would have heard that it was different perspectives and everybody is different ages. So I don't know who the old heads was supposed to be. But I said, I hope you live to be an old head.
I raised my hand proudly to be the old head.
Like, and they was like, oh, you don't know nothing you talking about. And I'm like, well, some people actually were saying that they saw the trial in real time. Some people said they did hear a little bit about it. Like, everybody had a different perspective, and we all gave honest perspectives off of what we're seeing up here from the show. So obviously you didn't watch the whole review.
Yeah,
you just took whatever piece and just ran with it. So I was like, okay.
And I was young when it happened, but I'm just trying to be like devil's advocate because you never know what could be going on behind the scenes. At the end of the day, they did that shit and they're guilty. So I mean, that's that.
it.
We just
Yeah,
kind of trying to make sense of the rest of it. Because my whole thing is, why was Lyle? I mean, Lyle is crazy. We'll just put it out there. But why was the boy losing his hair at a young age? Like clearly something was going on.
Yeah,
baby. All I know is Ryan Murphy created the one scene that will live rent free in my head when that mother snatched that toupee off.
Yes,
I can't never unsee
that.
I can't unsee that.
You didn't get that? You said you can't.
I cannot unsee that. Yes,
I can't unsee that. It will live rent free in my head. Thank you, Ryan, for that.
He has screws in his head.
Yeah, that is odd, though. You know, but he could have had a condition. He could have had a condition.
He could have.
Who knows?
Yeah, they said, well, this Nene says so. Seems like Nene has all the information about it. Said that Lyle started to lose his hair at 14 because of stress.
Yeah, I know his father made him get a toupee.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was
Listen,
straight.
My hair used to fall out all the time when I was a teenager. It used to just be coming out in my hands.
He was real heavy on them with the sports, right? Is that the education and the sports?
Yeah,
component.
Allegedly,
Erik played tennis.
Tennis,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
I'm sorry, no offense to you, Nene says so, but we are reviewing the show. So to say that we can't talk about the show, it would not be no point.
Did she watch the show?
Yeah, we talking about the show. So even if some stuff in here is not accurate, we're talking about the show. It's just like if we were talking about a Tyler Perry show or anybody else's show. We're talking about the show. Right. We don't some stuff on here, it might be 50% true, and 50% of it might be made up for television.
Right. That's why I kind of have I'm of two minds when you playing around with real stories and dramatizing them and anybody
adaptations.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, maybe we shouldn't do that because somebody might pick this art up and think of it to be true. Yes. So, I kind of be of two minds when Ryan Murphy does that, but we are talking about the show, Nene says, so okay.
Which now is like, with him doing with Aaron Hernandez, because that's Ryan Murphy's as well.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. And I feel like it's kind of different for me when I watched the OJ one because I was more into the OJ trial and everything that happened from the very beginning. Like I remember where I was at when that white Bronco first showed up on the news.
I remember the OJ one even more.
Yeah, that one I could kind of compare and contrast a little bit more than I can this one because I don't remember everything from this one. And
Yeah, I mean, I remember so much of this, but OJ one, I was a full-blown adult when I was 18 when the Menendez thing, but I was in my 20s when the OJ thing. I was grown, and so I really watched that thing every day. Matter of fact, at my job,
that was on
we had a
TV
TV on
every day.
the job, and that thing was playing on during the daytime. They took off all the soap operas. Wasn't no Price is Right on. It was OJ all day long, all day, all night. And
I was 6 when OJ was happening.
This one too. But the last trial that they showed, they didn't show it as much. The last trial, because remember they they took the camera. Matter of fact, that last trial, I remember that
last trial they didn't have the cameras in the room.
They didn't want no cameras in there. Yeah, that was done by design too. Yeah, they didn't want no cameras in there. So
that was done by design, and also them not able to talk about the abuse because remember they took that part out.
Because they wanted the convention. They wanted them to be convicted because they remember OJ got off. You had all these other people. There was a lot of things going on in LA at that time, in California at that time, and they needed a win because they were losing left and right. And they said so. Let's strip everything down and let's only talk about the unalive of the people.
Which I believe they should have gone to jail anyway.
Yeah.
Which I believe they should have just let all that. I mean, they wanted it so badly. They should have gone to jail anyway because the fact of the matter is you did it. So, and it wasn't like a self-defense. So anything that happened before
it wasn't self-defense. It wasn't like they were in the house and the parents were jumped on them and attacking them or doing something like that, then they were eating ice cream and fruit or something, they said, and they was laying there watching TV and falling asleep. Yeah. They come busting up in there and they took them out. Then they go out to the car, reload, come back again. So that's it sound like,
Now, what I did find interesting in the ending of the story, like when they unfolded, because when they initially did it, I was just like, why are they going so hard? Like, why so many rounds? But in the courtroom, they said that they did it because they wanted to look like the mafia or something. Didn't they? Or even they explained it to one of their friends or something like that. And I was like, oh, is that the logic behind it? So I was just like, either way, I couldn't imagine. But anyway, I just thought
I don't even know how they sleep at night, because that thing would be in my mind all for the rest of my life.
Well, it was. That's why he went to the doctor to talk to them. It did mess
as
him
far
up.
as Erik, it was still, well, at least the way it is, and I feel like it was that way.
I think that's what we're talking about here.
Stop seeing it.
Yeah. The whole reason why this whole thing even blew up is because Erik went and talked to that Dr. Oz or whatever his name. I keep calling him Dr. Oz, but you know what I mean?
I was with him that last week.
And Erik told this doctor here that he psychiatrist here that he made the whole thing up or something. That he made up some part about, I forgot what scene it was. I mean, because he said, well, why would you do that? Why would you make it up or something? So at some point, I can't remember what part it was. Maybe y'all can remind me, but he told him that he made up some portion of the story. But
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he did tell him that he made up some portion of the story. But and then Lyle was getting all these letters from women, and that's when he started talking to women on the phone with all his roll of dimes that he has all the time. And also Erik was depressed because his man friend he had in prison is gone, and so he have him, with him. So he was depressed about that. But and this is just me being a hole. I said Lyle is making up lie after lie about what really happened that night.
Right.
I'm just going by the show. Like,
we just speculating. We just going by the show now.
Yeah. So don't kill us in the comments, y'all, please. Because we wasn't there and we don't know what happened.
Yeah, we wasn't there.
Nobody knows. Nobody was there. It was just the four of them. The mother, father, and Lyle and Erik. So only people know what's going on in that house was them.
But let me ask y'all this: if the maid says she never heard them yelling at the kids,
oh, she said that.
They said that.
Show. That's what she said
in the trial. I'm just going by the trial because look, I know.
Thank you, Candy.
Enjoy the review, everybody. We don't need 60 Minutes or CNN disturbing the peace.
That part.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is when he told the his lawyer, they all talking to him, and he said, "Would you want me to cry? I can try and cry." It's almost that's what made me think
being very performative.
Now, I will say this one thing about even though they're not black, I will say this one thing about the housekeeper. Growing up in a black family, there's plenty of things that my family did not see my outside family did not see that went on, because your parents will take you in that room and cuss you out. Ain't nobody gonna hear it.
Yeah,
they'll take you in the room, you're gonna get popped, and ain't nobody gonna hear it.
Yeah, I didn't get my whole thought out, but
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right, because I got sidetracked. I was like the cat with the light. Once I saw the comment, so, I'm not saying I did. That's what my
go ahead, Moochie. I'm sorry. Because I'm reading comments as I'm listening to y'all too, so I got sidetracked.
That was on me.
What was the rest of the statement?
Look, like once again, I just became the cat with the little light.
I got distracted. I'm curious.
And then
I'll come back to it.
We got like Tamika and I talk about. We got swarms of women outside the courtroom or the courthouse or whatever, screaming for them like they rock stars. And Lyle in the show, we don't know what the real Lyle said, but in the show, Lyle said he was trying to figure out who gonna play him in the TV movie.
In the movie.
Yeah, and talking about Rob Lowe could play you and so could play me and all this stuff. He was loving every bit of this.
That's what you call when they did that. I don't know if y'all have ever heard the terminology before, but when he did that, that's what you call being meta. Basically, the loose base definition of it is this is a TV miniseries / a TV movie, and in the show they're saying, I wonder who's going to play us in a movie. So it's basically like saying something obvious within what's going on at the time.
Right.
It's one of those things. It's one of those things that if they were if Brian told him to break the fourth wall after he said that, it would have been one of those.
Exactly.
And this is and Don he said he's telling her, you know, where they started off in court, when she was giving her opening statement about what happened, and then she's getting in the elevator, and he's telling her, he said, you know, it's funny how this the same defense you gave to that other kid that you defended, and then also he mentioned that they didn't come up with this story until they were about to get the death penalty or something.
Right.
You know, or it was on the table for them to get a death penalty. So, I mean, like you said, this is we don't know what's real. This could be from Ryan Murphy could have read Dominic Dunn's books and articles and got his opinions from that. How he wrote this.
I said before, I feel like they thought that they were really going to get off, and that they weren't going to have to expose anything. So I think when Ish got real, then we got to speak up and say something. Because like I said, it's not, you know, it's embarrassing, especially for a man to be abused by your father. So that's just my perception. I don't know the real turn of events, if that's exactly how it happened, if they waited, but if they did wait, I feel like that's why they could have potentially waited to say something. Because when they came in there, him was not worried like they was going to get, you know, that they was going to be sitting there for like 6-7 years still going through trials.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. And like you've been saying, both you and Tamika have been saying, all of y'all been saying, two things can be true. They could something could have happened. I believe something that was going on. To that, what the degree of it, I don't know. But I believe something funky stuff was going on in that house. Even the mother is weird. You know what I'm saying? I just think maybe was she so afraid she couldn't leave him? Was remember that scene when one of them said, Erik or Lyle, that the mother got maybe it was Lyle. The mother got like a butcher knife and was chasing them around the house with it. I don't know if that happened or not. I mean, you know, I don't know. It do sound far-fetched, but not saying there are some bad mothers out there. So
right, exactly.
It just sounds wild. I
was cracking up when she was having that seizure or whatever that was supposed to be.
Yeah, right. She just gets up
poison and just start drinking. Reach for the wine. I was like,
yeah.
They looking at her like she was just performing. You know, like,
oh my God.
They ain't even try to say, "Mom, you okay?" And
I thought something was wrong with it. I was like, "Oh my God, why did you stand in there?" I said, "No, she didn't reach for that wine like that." She reached for that wine.
Well, here's your favorite person, Torian, Judalon. Talk about Judalon.
Judah. Oh, she
Judalon. She batshit crazy.
Right. She just got up there and just started telling everything. So basically everything that she said on that phone, she amplified it times 10 on that stand.
Right.
Like that part was kind of funny. I think any scene that had her in it made me laugh.
It's hilarious. Yeah, Judalon was funny. But if you listen to and I know the person in here, Nene says the way the Judalon in real life, she was like, if you watch the case, you can find the clips on YouTube. She was talking all this wild stuff though, like in real life. Like, so she was a woman scorned. And I think that's one of the things why she was saying that the doctor had like tied her up and did all kind of wild stuff. I don't even want to say all the stuff because I don't want YouTube to get me, but you know, but he was just saying he did all these things to her. But I believe that she was trying to, I believe that he probably was saying he won't leave his wife. I believe that because I know men do that. Sorry, Torian, but men will do that mess, saying they're going to leave their wife, knowing they ain't leaving their wife. And then they still be messing with you on the side, you know, and then they, but when But when she moved up in the house, I know that was some episodes ago. We already talked about it.
Yeah.
That was the part that got me when she moved up in the house.
Yeah.
And why did he allow that?
Why did his wife allow that?
Why did wife allow? Well, because
he probably set it up like, oh, this is my patient. She need help. Of course he ain't gonna say.
Yeah, and the wife probably didn't know. She probably really thought that was a patient
to the daughter.
Yeah, it was the daughter thing. Yeah, so I don't know if that part really happened, but it's funny on the show.
Right.
And when she went in the courtroom, everybody looking at her, and they was all grinning and smiling. Even Erik and Lyle was looking at her. So
it was something to behold. It was definitely something to look at and laugh.
He even tried to talk to Dominic Dunn to get a like a book deal or something, right?
Yeah.
Or like a magazine cover, like
Yeah, because he worked for Variety, right?
I thought it was Vanity Fair or Variety. One of them.
It was Variety. I think it was Variety.
Maybe Variety. Okay, I knew it was okay. And this is when Lyle is talking to Erik, saying how we're gonna write a book, and then we're gonna be rich, and we're gonna be famous, and we're gonna get these certain actors to play us. It just went on and on for like a whole scene on that, Yeah, they did make. If anybody's upset about this, Lyle should be upset about this. The real Lyle should be upset because it made him look horrible,
awful.
It actually gave more compassion to Erik and made people feel sorry for Erik. That's in my opinion. It made Lyle look really bad. It made him look like Nita said, like a sociopath or psychopath or something. I don't know which the right word is, a sociopath or psychopath, but they look like one of them.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think what made this story stand out, and I know that, I don't know, maybe y'all can speak more to it because y'all are a little bit. I would say y'all a little bit more seasoned. I don't know more seasoned because remember I was only 3.5 months old when this happened.
I tell you, we was babysitting you at that
time. But I think what made this story stand out is because of the economic status that they were in. Typically if you heard a story like this, usually it was coming from maybe a below middle class family, but here's a family that had wealth. So they had all of this going on. Why would they do that? And they're living in Beverly Hills. They can go shopping, get all these designer things. They can get all this jewelry. They can have these nice cars. They live in this mansion. Their family is well off to do. Their dad is this. Their mom is that. Why would they do that? Like what would make them do that? Because it's not like they're poor. They're not bums.
And because people who are sitting home watching it on television, I'm talking about during the time of the real case, they sitting home watching the news. They reading. This back when people would read the newspaper. Sitting reading the newspaper, and people saying, "I'm over here struggling, scratching and surviving good times over here," and then we got these rich people, and you just taking out your. I see.
I think that's another reason why they thought they was gonna get away with it. We're gonna get some good lawyers. We're gonna throw some money on this, and we're gonna be out in no time.
Well, remember what he said in this scene here when he talked about how OJ got off. He told me, I need to get a catchphrase.
Right.
If you mess with, you can't go. I forgot what he said. It was something silly. You know what I'm saying? He said, we got to get a catchphrase OJ's one of the biggest.
It was like, if you've been abused, you can't be accused. Or something
like
that.
I'm like, okay, no.
Yeah, so I think that was something that I didn't think about that when I was watching it. Like that thought literally just came into my mind right now as I was saying. I was like, and then when you got to think about it, that's why their lawyers were telling them when they was getting ready to get on the stand, they said, you have to make the people appeal to you because you're not relatable. Like you are in a whole nother tax bracket than the majority of people. You're in the 1%. So you gotta convince the other 99% that you are not guilty, or they can empathize and sympathize with you. Otherwise, they are not.
Right. It was nothing that was there that they felt like they could sympathize with them with. It just came off like they was these spoiled brats, especially going and shopping and the things they did after it happened, like
Rolexes and Mercedes Benz. The average person just can't go out here and buy.
$750,000, yo. That's a lot of money.
That's the worst thing they could have done, and they didn't even wait to spend it.
And the reason why people, and I'm not going even down the rabbit hole of OJ, but the reason why black people did support OJ at the time is not because we love some damn OJ, it's because all this stuff. We had just got off that Rodney King situation.
Yup.
And then the other girl who got shot in the head for the orange juice and that lady. And I'm telling you, if I see that lady on the street now fighting her, and I don't care how long it's been, if I see her on the street, I'm gonna fight her. That lady. So that story still makes me sick on my stomach with that lady. So when all those things was going on, it was so much going on with police brutality. That's when that's why OJ thing was, and they had a majority black jury, and that's why. So it wasn't that OJ was relatable either, as far because he wasn't part of the community, and he was wealthy. He was worth like 54 million or some crazy amount.
It was definitely given. They get away with it all the time.
90s. That was a lot of money back then. I mean, still a lot of money. It's still a lot of money, but for that time, it was even more.
And also another thing that black people was rooting for was for Johnny Cochran.
And for Johnny Cochran,
So that was Johnny Cochran's coming out party, so to speak. After that, everybody wanted to work with Johnny Cochran.
Nah, I disagree with you on that one, brother. Todd Bridges was his ticket.
Yeah, and he had Michael Jackson before.
You know what?
He had Michael Jackson before.
I forgot. I did forget about that. I forgot that Johnny Cochran did represent Michael Jackson.
That happened in the 80s.
80s, yeah.
Right,
but Johnny Cochran was doing a lot of great work long before he started working with celebrities. He was doing a lot of civil rights work long before.
The reason why I had brought up OJ is because that's the trial that everybody remembers. Because it was so out there. Like you talking about, this trial lasted a year, so and it was everywhere. Like you could not escape it. It was even my young 6-year-old self remembered when that trial was going on, because even the teachers in school could barely pay attention because all they could think about what was going on this day and that day of the OJ trial. I remember when the verdict came down.
Yep, I remember the verdict came in.
I was at my job, and y'all may call me ignorant, but we celebrated. I don't know why, because ain't like I'm no OJ person, but we were celebrating not because of OJ, it's because of a black man got off. It wasn't because of OJ. It wasn't.
Listen, I remember that because I was staying at my mother's house at the time. I was pregnant with my son, I think. I don't remember, but I know I was at my mother's house and she was screaming, and the whole complex, like everybody was running outside screaming, beeping their horns.
It was a party.
For real.
Yeah, I'm not saying this right.
I was in high school. I did a little.
I'm just telling you what it was for that time.
Internal.
Yeah, because I went to a Catholic school, very, very, this and not this. So they were up in arms, and I was like,
I worked at a law firm, and the lawyers came out because we was doing collections. The lawyers came out, and he was like, he effing won.
I know.
They was just like, they was mad. Like, I don't
believe it. If y'all want to get it,
white people was mad, but
if you want a good laugh, if you want a good laugh, just go on YouTube one day. It doesn't matter what day. And just type in the OJ verdict, and they actually have the footage like from different places and perspective when it was announced that he was found not guilty. And look at the responses from the black people versus the response from the black people. It is a night and day, literally. And they are in the same vicinity with each other.
Right. And this is what I'm trying to, and this is and look, I was right there. I was one of those people. It wasn't about OJ. It was about a black, it was a black white thing. That's what it was. Yeah. It wasn't had nothing to do with
it was
OJ.
Very much they've been getting away with it all of this time.
And now they get
it's about time one of us get away with it.
They talked about it in that documentary with the OJ, the 30 for 31. That's one of the best documentaries. That 5-part series they did on OJ. That thing was fantastic.
And what else though with that thing though, with the card when they had the police chase, even though he messed up the playoffs game that the Knicks was in.
Right. And they ain't been in one since.
He was close to a championship, I might add.
That's right.
But what I was gonna say is people was rooting for him then. They was like, go, Jay, go. I remember people saying that.
Yes, they
was rooting for him like he was running through the airport like a hearse
because OJ was still beloved at the time. You know what I'm saying? But these guys, it's different because that was a color thing. White and black is always still we're always gonna be talking about white and black issues in this country forever in the day. But in this case, these were rich white guys. Nobody was feeling sorry for them. They was like, oh, throw them in the fire, get rid of them. Nobody didn't care, you know what I'm saying? So it was no one could couldn't sympathize with them, you know what I'm saying? And
right. No one was trying to
hear.
No one was trying to hear their backstory. Like if there was a backstory to be told, they didn't care because they already made up in their mind. Like you said, they're rich young white males in their early 20s could have the world at their fingertips, and they decide to do this. I don't feel nothing for them. I like how am I supposed to relate to that? Like that's and it wasn't even just like. It wasn't even just black people that felt that way. It was even other white people who felt the same exact way. Yeah. It was a lot of people, but like I said, it was just people as a whole that just did not, they said, how could they do something like that? They make up all these lies, like, and then they live
because not all white people are wealthy like this too. There's regular hardworking, blues. Some of them, they know a lot of people couldn't relate. But
even their lawyers even their lawyer was telling them that they said, you got to convince the people. That to feel bad for you. Don't convince us.
And because he in this scene here, Lyle and Erik was saying, look, all this. Well, he was trying to tell Erik it was his fault because he's the one that opened up his mouth to the Dr. Ozil. But he said, but Erik told him, no, it's your fault because you were talking and running your mouth, talking to fans who were writing you letters and we could have been out of here, he said, but you've made it worse.
Right, because they had something against them.
Right. That's the only thing they had in the corners, them little young girls and the mamas that felt bad that they were abused. That's the only people they had in the corner.
Right. And then the other lawyer, she dropped out because they didn't have any money. Yeah. They didn't have any, because you didn't have access to the money anymore. So they didn't have any money, all the money dried up. And so she was pretty much doing this pro bono. And so they had to bring in a public defender, and he ain't do anything. He never opened up his mouth one time. He just sat there. that lawyer. But this is what I was gonna say to Nita was that if this was two black kids, I don't think nobody would be doing all these TikTok videos and everything trying to get them out. Two young black boys saying that they were abused. I think a lot of this, I mean, because I always think race is.
I agree.
I believe everything is a lot of it about race in this country, about a lot of stuff.
Go with that.
I think race plays a part in a lot of things that go on. Everything, So, economics does too, but race is first.
This wasn't the only one. They had
I think that if this was two black kids named Tyrone and Jamal, they would not be. They would just stone them away, and nobody would be doing no videos talking about, oh, let's get them out, and people wouldn't be in these comments cursing us out, saying that we wrong about things.
I don't know. The only thing I know is that I know a lot of black women still wear their capes for. Not all.
I know what you're saying.
They still have their capes on, and there could be a plethora of TikToks. It may not be from this side, but it probably be from this side.
Yes.
I don't know if they be getting out though. If they was, I don't know. I mean
they got.
I see it both. I just watched Good Morning America the other morning. I saw a little clip. They had a big old conversation about this thing is getting back big all over again. They don't, they throw us away like crazy. So I don't know if that's something they would have do all this.
I still have the menudo aspect that they saying. Oh. They still have the menudo aspect that they have too. I'm sorry, Tamika.
No, because
now and one of the kids from Menudo came to their house.
Yeah, and he true. I believe that Menudo stuff.
Yeah,
he was abused by that father, so they're gonna this is gonna be part of them reopening the case. So I want to see how this plays out as far as that. Will they be getting another trial? I don't know, but. I have problems with how they were spending the money afterwards. It was like they was dancing on their
like dancing on their grave. We glad they gone, so let me spend up all the money. I don't know. I don't know.
This part right here.
Yeah, this is this my girl right here, because Miss Kira texted me and said, Inga, that's you right there. I cracked up laughing. I couldn't help but to laugh. That probably would have been me, especially at that time. Now, I'm swaying back and forward how I feel. In
now
that time, though, I was dead set that no, I don't want to hear they guilty, throw them away. I was that late.
Yeah, because the Asian woman right there in the bottom, she was the one that was saying like, she was believing the story about the abuse and all of that stuff like that. But the woman with the red hair, and I thought it was very interesting that they made the woman with the red hair be the one to do it, because it's always the thing about the red-haired stepchild. Right. So I thought it was very interesting. I mean, that woman was going into the point where she had a whole heart attack.
That's right.
They're liars.
Yeah,
they're nothing but liars.
Nene, I know you laugh. Come on now. I know this is a serious situation, but you can't tell me you ain't crack up laugh. That lady,
we laughed in the beginning of the review.
She was. I mean, that would like that's talk about like Tamika said, stress can kill you, man. Lord have mercy. She took it to another level.
Yeah, it had a whole heart attack. Yeah,
she said, "Let me see the picture of them sitting on the Jose's lap." She said, "I call this a Christmas card." I mean, it was just funny.
Yeah, what I said when I was looking at her, she also reminded me of Trunchbull from Matilda. All she needed was that little thing with the horse, a little croc thing with the horse, and say, "Throw him in a chokey." That's all.
It was just funny, but anyway, they brought in this alternative. Anytime it's a jury a case, they always got to have a couple alternatives.
Alternate.
Alternate. Yeah, thank you. I said it wrong. Alternate. Yeah. And so they brought this guy, and he was the voice of reason. He was like, "Look, yes, they should go and go away to jail, but to prison, but he don't want that on his conscience of them putting them to death." I'm kind of on that too. I'm not for that death penalty because of the fact that there's so many people we find out now, people getting out 30, 40 years and turn out they was innocent.
Right.
And that's
what the other lady was saying too. But
so
that's what the other lady with the Bayang was saying too. But the one with the red hair was going off so much they wasn't even listening to her, because she was like, "Well, what if this actually happened?" And then
not the Bayang.
Yeah, with the Bayang.
I
was right there with. I was like, "Yeah, you don't want that on your cat." But they weren't trying to hear her.
Yeah, the death penalty, I couldn't put that on my conscience. I could put somebody in life in prison, right. But not the death, because I'm like, what is that slight chance that they could be? I just couldn't, like, who am I to tell somebody to
not unless they're Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, well, see, there's always an exception to the rule.
But then you can be in the jury then no way. But
there's always an exception to the rule. But yeah.
I don't know who
I'm okay with the 2 life sentences.
Right.
Even though they were adults, they still feel like they fall in the children category, that they weren't fully So I wouldn't want to put someone that young to the unalive.
They say they wasn't that, their IQ level wasn't that high. Something they made some type of reference about them not having. They thought on the level of kids or something. Maybe I forgot.
Yeah, their brain wasn't fully formed when they did it.
Yeah, I forgot what episode it was.
But it screws in his head to put that in. You don't think that messed up his head?
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know if it was screws or whatever.
I think they said it was something like hooks, but still, same difference.
That is still just looks crazy. I don't know. Well, they end up giving them 2 life sentences, no possibility of parole.
Also in the scene right here, because this is after they found them guilty, but that judge was not trying to listen to any objection.
Oh yeah.
It was at that point, I think they were tired of it and they wanted them to be found guilty no matter what. So the judge objected to everything. To the point where she started doodling on her little pad.
She was going hangman or something.
Objection. Objection.
Overruled.
Sit back in her chair.
No, sit down.
That's literally all. That's literally.
She wasn't gonna win the case.
Yeah, like when I saw that was going on, I said, "Yeah, the judge, he's over it. He wants them to be found guilty and if he allowed her objections to go through, it would have probably been another hung jury. So he said, you know what? Object. She said, overrule to every objection you give.
Even in the second case, they changed the prosecutor because the first one was a woman, but they what's the guy?
I like that last one. I like
the same guy that was in charge of the OJ thing. What was his name? Gail Carcati or whatever his name. He was the district attorney, whatever he was.
Yeah, I liked him. He
brought this guy in.
His business.
Yeah, he brought this guy in.
What, this attorney?
Yeah,
he was good.
He was good.
He wasn't
like, he said, I don't care about trying to convince y'all about no motive. That is not my job. I'm here to prove that they did this. I said,
yeah, and they admitted they did it. Yeah, so it wasn't. It should have been a case closed early on.
He even snapped on her like one time when she kept trying to object. Like before the judge could really say anything, he I forgot what he had said to her, but he raised his voice at her. I do know that. But like I said, they just wanted to be over it. Like the trial had dragged on for so long. They said, let's just find these two guilty so we can move on to the next case because we already been here too long. We've been sitting in these seats too long. I have a butt print right in here. Like, this is my seat. Like, this is my seat now. They don't even have my name on it. So let's move this thing along so we can get to the next case.
They spent a lot of money on this case, and they just said,
oh yeah. I'm sure this case probably cost a lot of money.
Yes. So in the middle, so they knew they were gonna get convicted. They knew it, and the lawyer Leslie, she knew it. It was. I think she had already prepared them. They knew they wasn't getting out. So by this time, and so they laying up in their prison cells. And next thing you know, you hear Milli Vanilli again. The dream is over. The dream is over.
Tragedy for me to see. The dream is over.
Yeah, I was jamming. I was snapping my fingers.
I'm gonna miss you.
And they got them out of bed at like it was like I think it was like
in
at 3 a.m.
middle of the night, crack of dawn or something. They said we got a long ride. And he said told Erik we're going to Folsom, and the other one was going somewhere else. But he didn't know that at first. They thought they was going to the same place, and then they get in the cars. The vans. And I seen this on the other TV, one of the other TV movies I sent you, Miss Cares, another made-for-TV movie on them. The same thing happened. They got in the van, and one van went one way, another van went the other way.
Went to the right. Yep.
Yes, and
my heart would have broke. Oh,
yeah. They tried to make us. They tried to make us cry here.
Cry right here. That's I was getting. They tried to make us because that's what they were trying to do at this point right here was to try to.
Humanize them,
there when they had when you see it,
they split.
But how they shot that because it's like it was an over like a aerial shot, and you see the vans coming out at the same time, but then they're separating. And this is like the first time that they really technically now truly been separated. I don't really count when they were not together or next to each other.
No, because they were still in the same
because it's the same prison.
Right? Yeah, and they saw each other in court every day and stuff like but.
So this was the first time ever where they were truly separated. One went one place and one went to another.
And they didn't want them together because they felt that they would be trying to come up with that escape plan again. Like they
I'm still cracking up when they said, when we get out of here, we're gonna go here. We can get some plastic surgery. We can get these wigs.
I know.
Ain't looking like Fabio.
The delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, and so that was pretty much the end of that one. So they I don't know so overall, did y'all like the Ryan Murphy version of it? Because there's been a lot of other TV movies of it and documentaries, but just his version of it. What y'all think?
I felt like Dominic Dunn's hands was too much in this.
Yeah,
this is probably the first actual like at full length anything that I've watched pertaining to the men. You want to know when I first learned about the Menendez brothers? Y'all probably gonna laugh at this. It was an episode of The Fresh Prince back in the first season, and now you got to think Fresh Prince came out in 1990, and so that means that they were probably filming episodes in late '89, which was right around the time when this happened, when this was going on. So. It was a scene in there where Uncle Phil was talking to Hillary, Ashley, and Carlton. I don't know if he was talking to them directly in the scene, but he was referring to them. And he said something along the lines of, he said, I knew I should have never let y'all hang out with those Menendez brothers. Yeah, if y'all go back and watch the first season, it was in the first season. And that's when I first learned about them. And I was like, why would he say that? Because I was like, who are they? And then now, years later, when I learned about it, I was like, oh, now I know why he said that. And the response from the audience was hilarious because they were like, it was a mixture of and people laughing at the same time because it was fresh. It was a fresh story.
Yeah, I said, well,
and it would make sense because they lived in Bel Air and his brothers lived in Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It
was good. It was like a roller coaster of emotions and trying to figure out where he was going and what was the point. And you got a couple of laughs, and you know it was. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was up and down for me. I was just like, oh God, you're doing too much. Like,
you ain't gonna be able to look at toupees the same, aren't you?
Right. He was doing too much, but like you said, when you get them laughs, you get the laughs, and you know, some of the stuff was kind of horrific if you think about it. And I was like,
oh no, it was
very, very uncomfortable to watch, but definitely will not revisit. Thank you for the toupee and the heart attack scene.
No, this is not something you're gonna go back and say, you know, like
that's like Dahmer.
You know, I ain't doing nothing today.
I did watch Dahmer a couple of times.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I did. Yeah, I did. Go.
I enjoyed it. It was just so compelling to me. It was just
that one episode I would skip though.
I remember that story
too. Yeah, I know what episode you're talking about. The one we didn't talk about.
Well, I'm talking about on Dahmer, and it was one on Dahmer and one on this one that I would just skip over.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
A lot of people skip Dahmer altogether.
Episode 5, y'all notice I didn't talk about it because that's when they broke. Erik said that really the whole episode 5 was all Erik sitting there with his
lawyer, episode 5 was
they go into the details of every little, and I said, you know, we ain't.
That's why I believe him.
Episode 5 was
him
very
more than
deep
the
to
older.
me. And I think that he needed the daggone award. That episode, I think that one was called Hangman. I don't remember now, but yeah, he did it on that one.
Yeah, because it was because I was looking at the episode and it was mainly one shot. It was just in there talking to the attorney, and I do agree, Tamika, because I said the same thing when I was watching it. Because I'm almost certain this miniseries is going to be nominated for.
Yes.
And I said if they nominate him, it should definitely be for that episode because that episode was centered just mainly on him, where he was the focal point the entire episode, and I was like literally just so engaged the entire time that he was speaking to his lawyer about this story, to the point where it's like, damn, did this really actually happen?
Yeah.
And can you imagine all of that dialogue he had to memorize? That's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, Erik had a lot of stuff to remember. I mean, the actor who played Erik, and I saw an interview with him. He said he met with him in person, and also, you know, Kim Kardashian is also met with them, and she's also spearheading to try to get them out too.
Worried about her
the spirit don't look so enthused.
My bad.
That's what they said. I saw it on Today's Show, talked about Kim Kardashian with them, and Good Morning America. They said she's been going up to the prison, having regular visits with them.
She needs to be worried about her own freedom.
Right, you need to sit down and eat your food, girl.
Yeah, she need to just take her nose about.
She got her own problems.
And worry about her freedom.
A couple of years too late. Should have worried about that before when you was active with all that stuff.
Now I got a question for y'all. Are y'all ready for Monster season 3? Because they already announced it's going to be a season 3.
And the guy who played Jack on Sons of Anarchy is going to play the serial.
Ed Gein.
Who is it about?
It's going to be on Ed Gein.
I don't remember who that is.
Okay, so Ed Gein is y'all saw or heard, or at least heard of the movie The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's gonna be about him. Now the thing is, the movie is based on him, but Ed Gein did not use a chainsaw when he did what he did. But the part about him removing the skin and using it to make furniture and wearing it, that is true. So that's who's going. That's why I said. When I heard it was going to be on him, I said the people who don't know about Ed Gein better read up on him.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that one
because he's one of those low key type of killer. People who unalive people that you don't hear about because the story is so.
I'm interested in seeing that one because I feel like it's so many different things on the Menendez brothers, so many on Dama, so many on the Zodiac. We got a new one about to come out on the Zodiac again. I mean, we really shouldn't be. I don't think we should be seeing all these different stereotypes, but at the end of the day, they exist. I'd rather hear about some that I'm not that familiar with than the ones that we kind of got.
I'm kind of getting tired. I was joking. Anita, I know you got a great go, but I was joking yesterday with Tamika when I said I'm the head reporter for the Menendez. I'm gonna keep on following these cases, but I'm kind of sick of these dudes. I'm ready. I love true crime stories. So I'm ready to go on to somebody else. We got to get together and find another true crime story. Maybe we all talk about it. That's why I do. Sick of these dudes, that's why I do.
That's why every other Sunday on Rumble I do my true crime Sunday. Now I got the next true crime Sunday will be next Sunday, a week from today.
Okay.
Yeah. So and I try to make sure it's on like different crimes, and it doesn't even have to necessarily be on someone who took somebody out. It could be even much as someone committing a massive amount of fraud. Like I did one on Bernie Madoff. What's the irony that his last name is Madoff? Because that's exactly what he did. He made off with billions of other people's money. So, and I know exactly. Moochie and Mascara and Tamika, y'all know him all too well because that happened in y'all state. So I'm sure y'all remember when that was going down. So I try to do that.
To make in that too.
Yeah. Whew. And
I watch all these crazy.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that movie, The Wizard of Lies?
Is that the one on Max?
The one Bob De Niro, he played that role. That was
And before Robert De Niro was even cast to play that part, I said if they ever made a movie about Bernie Madoff, don't look no further than Robert De Niro because he looks just like Bernie Madoff.
Tori, hang on one second. Nita got to get ready to go.
He played a good Phil Spector too.
Look, he putting me on game.
He played a good Phil Spector. They did the Phil Spector.
Oh yeah, that Phil Spector one was real good.
That's a good documentary too.
Hang on, Nita got to get ready.
Girl, he can wait. He can wait.
Okay. I didn't want to we hold you up. Okay.
I would say that this one was an interesting take. I mean, everybody got their opinions with Ryan Murphy, and I definitely see some of the points, definitely. But I did feel like it was a different feel when it came to Dama, OJ, Versace, and those compared to this one. This was definitely, I don't know what made him go this route, but it definitely, maybe because it was so violent as the parents, I don't know, but it was like definitely, as Miss Kira said, the razzle dazzle and the comedy, and it was just like a mixture of all different kind of things going on. How to take it. And because it started out that way, I think a lot of people didn't really watch it all the way through because I've seen people already going off, like I told y'all when we first started it, just with watching the beginning, and they was like, oh, he could rot in hell, F him, he got them this way and that way. But I feel like maybe if they would have watched it all the way to the end, maybe they would have had a different perspective. I
went down a rabbit hole on TikTok about it, and
but you definitely had to watch it to the end because he's like, dun, 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 dun. They did that
at the very end. At the very end, after they showed them going away off in the vans, they had one more scene on the end. If people might have clicked off and didn't see it,
I think
they
that
showed
was
them on the boat, and they made it seem like he wanted her to go back to work or something. And he was going to run for Senate or whatever it was. And then those two sitting on top of the boat talking about, tonight's the night. We're going to take them out tonight. You got the guns.
I believe that's how he truly felt.
And I think they did show a good perspective of how everybody had different opinions, like it went back and forth. It wasn't just like a black and white one way. And he showed the parents in different ways. He showed them in different ways. So, to a certain degree, I think that's a plus because I'm pretty sure it was different ways that people was feeling and thinking. It wasn't just like everybody straight across the board,
And I do want to make it clear. I do think something funky happened in that house with that family. I think things was going, and I believe the Menudo guy who came out.
Yes, I do.
Not just him, and some other ones too. Then Ricky Martin said things. I believe something was going.
We know things happen
not
out
just
here
with
in this
Jose.
industry,
I mean, even the other guy
yeah.
with the other manager who
right,
Eduardo or whatever his name was.
Yes,
they
Eduardo.
were both doing something to them boys over there.
And as far as what I don't know what exactly Moochie was about to go with what she was saying about the housekeeper on the stand, but when I saw that part when them interviewing like the housekeeper, certain people that he worked with, I can't remember what that lady was to him, his assistant and somebody, and they were saying like, oh well, I never heard nothing, I never saw nothing, you know, the
but
parents.
abusers don't do that. They don't do
exactly
things.
I was gonna say there's a lot of people that's around that don't see or hear nothing, and they don't know what you're going through. So I take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, right. Because when I'm in Australia all the time, and people say, "Well, I ain't never see you get no black eye, or I ain't never see this or hear that." That happens all the time. So
what I was gonna say is he seemed like he's two different people. Like he's a nice person to everybody out in public, and a lot of narcissists do that. They be the nice guy.
Yes,
you wouldn't
absolutely.
believe they do things to people that they love.
Right.
That was the ones that hurt the most. That's what I was gonna say. But you know,
yes, I agree.
I definitely agree with that. So, well,
and at that part of the story, they were trying to point the kids as the bad ones too.
I think they were spoiled to a certain point.
We see you tomorrow for Tulsa, right?
Okay, yep. I'll send the link tonight.
Okay. And Tulsa King was good too. It was a good episode.
Yes.
Thanks, Nita. Yeah. I just I still don't want them on the street. So hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your parents. I don't want to see them on the street. So I don't want to see them on the street, but what can I do? If it happens, what am I gonna do? You know, as long as they don't come here to the DMV, they can stay wherever they at over there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just want to know what the rationalization would be for letting them out. Like if you have people that have committed similar crimes, that there's like, are we just gonna say it's time served? I don't
know. They're gonna be wealthy when they get out. They're gonna write books. They're gonna be on. They're gonna be sitting with Oprah. They're gonna be sitting on all these platforms. Gayle King gonna interview everybody. Vlad TV. Everybody gonna interview these people, and they going. You know they're gonna come on now. You know Vlad gonna interview these people. You know they're gonna be on everybody's platform. They're going to make money. They're gonna come out and be wealthy again. So if Lyle's motivation was wealth that was in the beginning, then he's gonna get it.
They had all of that money in the Swiss bank accounts. They still talking about that. So they not poor. They're gonna have money. That's just money they can't get to right now if it's still there.
Yeah.
Well, if it's still there, because then why? Okay, if that's the case, though, Moochie, then why did they have to get the public defender? She said they ran out of money, and she was working for free, pro bono.
They can't do no type of transactions like that in jail.
Right.
Yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. You don't know which way it's gonna go at the end of the day. You know, the people that may want or not want, you know. I mean, listen, my cousin was a cop that was unalived, and I remember when the person that did it, we was writing letters and everything for him not to get out, and he still got out, and he got out very quick, in my opinion. But you know.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. And probably still roaming the street somewhere.
Oh yeah.
How do we know that these people have been rehabilitated? Like we don't know.
Yeah, we don't really know. Yeah, because a lot of times they do things so they can get out. So we don't really know, especially if you are a psychopath type of person,
because you got to make
you're still going to be there.
For example, look at Sophia Falcone.
Who's that? Wait a minute. Sophia who?
Sophia Falcone from Penguin.
Oh. No, I'm thinking you're talking about a real person. I'm sitting there thinking, what case was this? I'm sitting there thinking, what case was this?
God.
Yeah, Penguin is good. We're going to talk about that. But I was thinking you're talking about a real, but no, but you're right. We don't know these people real, but we don't know. We don't know. We're going to sit back and see, y'all, we're going to probably all be texting each other and say, y'all, breaking news. They out on the street. So we'll see.
They better not. I'm gonna start watching that documentary tomorrow when it comes out.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask Torian. Are you going to watch the documentary? The Netflix.
I'll probably peek at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna peek at it because I'm nosy. I'm gonna peek at it. I ain't gonna talk about it, but
tomorrow.
Netflix is the HBO one is already out. That came out about a week ago.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of
how's that one?
I ain't even finished it. I was fell asleep on it. So
speaking of documentaries, did any of y'all watch the Mr. McMahon documentary?
I have to finish it.
I did.
I did too. I'm gonna be honest with you. That did
I'm
bring
on
back some
episode
memories.
2, I think. I'm on episode 2.
When I was watching that, especially as a person who was a wrestling fan back in the day, like the Attitude Era was my era right there. So it was interesting watching that and learning some things I did not know. Now I will say this: that documentary is like a glamour for Vince McMahon up into the last episode.
Yes.
Which is
the
last episode is where they really get into the allegations and the scandal of all of.
And I wanted more.
Yeah. He looks terrible too. He had all this plastic surgery on his face or something. He looked terrible. He looks bad. He was
never a great looking.
He was never a handsome guy in the first place, but his faces look like it just look crazy. But anyway, yeah, I watched some of it. I haven't finished. I'm going to finish it because it took me back to my childhood, Torian. Because when I saw the Junkyard Dog and I saw Andre the Giant and then Hulk Hogan, and even though I know he's a racist, but at that time I was a little kid, I didn't know he was a racist. And then when I saw Tony Atlas, I'm like, damn, I thought he was passed away. I didn't even know he was still alive.
He's still.
I did not know that till I saw him.
I watched.
Those are the people. That's my generation. I was a little kid watching them guys, Superfly.
Yeah, I watched the older.
People.
And then I watched again.
Dark Side of the Ring. He's on a couple of those.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tony Atlas. That was the guy back in the day.
Those are really good to me because WWE has no parts of it. That's why they started doing their stuff after Dark Side of the Ring, because a lot of the truth was coming out.
I stopped watching wrestling after the later year. Once after The Rock and all them. I know who they are.
That's when I started watching again.
Watching it. I wasn't really watching it.
Because your kids. I started watching then.
Yeah, I watched when I was a little kid with my grandparents. And then I watched again when Rock was coming out. When he turned heel, or with him and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
My son used to imitate him, and that was my answer machine greeting. It doesn't matter what your name is. He used to say, he was like, leave a name, leave a number, and then be like, it doesn't
listen,
matter
when we was kids, like in school, like in middle school, preferably, when you had D-Generation X with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, when we do the suck it, man, we used to get in trouble for doing that.
Yeah. I am gonna finish that. I'm gonna finish. I don't know if I'll recap it, but I'm gonna finish watching it anyway. I'm not sure if I'll recap it though, but anyway, anybody got anything interesting coming up for this week? Because I'm gonna be busy every day this week.
Yeah, we got. Well, for me, tomorrow I'm gonna be uploading. Well, actually, tomorrow I got my video that I'm gonna be uploading about Amber Geiger. She's unfortunately eligible for parole after being in prison for 6 years of a 10-year sentence, and they don't want her to get. Hopefully, they don't let her out, because honestly, 10 years wasn't even long enough to get her.
She shouldn't get out at all.
No, she shouldn't get out at all.
She shouldn't get out at all. Because now, look, 3 of those happened. 3 more of those happened since her. So it's like they trying to make that the norm. Right. A couple of days ago, the same thing happened in Atlanta with a cop going in some people's house, but this one didn't. He ended up getting hit back.
Forget that lady. We don't want her out. But
as a matter of fact, it's funny you mentioned that, Moochie, because someone has sent me a story, and I'm gonna probably talk about it, where it was some cop, I forgot what state he was in. He was off duty. He went into somebody's home and tried to rob it.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay. Oh, all right. Then we think
back with some hot ones.
Yeah. Okay. So so cool. We talking about the same thing. And also tomorrow I'm gonna be talking about the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and him vetoing a bill for Black families to get their farmland back.
I heard about that. Yeah. So I saw a little snippet about that. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be that's what I'm gonna be talking about tomorrow.
Okay. Tamika, anything you got going on this week?
Yes, if y'all didn't see it yesterday, I did Self-Care Saturday, talking about breast cancer awareness, DV awareness. October is the awareness month for both of those. Check it out if you didn't see it. My what you should be watching. Then I did my quick thoughts on Zatima, Reasonable Doubt. My Love After Lockup is up. I'm gonna do Power later tonight. Probably just gonna record it and put it up. Then tomorrow I'm with EJ from talking about From. I don't know. I'm with the ladies this week. I'll be doing something every day too. I can't even remember everything. I know we talking about
so much.
We talking about Reasonable Doubt. We talking about Found. I think
Power.
How was the team? Like, Charles, a lot going on all through the week. So make sure y'all coming in, y'all tuning in, y'all hitting that like, you're subscribing.
What about you, Miss Kara?
Who, child? Still playing catch up with Reasonable Doubt. I'll get there eventually. I closed out Power last night. I did a live episode of Found season 2, episode 1, and I'll also be doing a panel with Candy and Aries later on this evening. And also, I'm trying to get to Love is Blind season 7, episodes 1 through 6. I'll probably just pop up as a live and just get that out the way.
Tori, you see this message here from Barbara Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
She said people in California, they upset about that governor. I did hear about that.
And y'all should be. Y'all should be. Because, and I forgot what he was trying to do. Like something else happened. I'm gonna talk about it tomorrow. I got my,
so Barbara, follow Torian because he be having all the information. Yeah, he be follow him.
I hope they not giving this stuff to the migrants.
Ooh, don't say that.
I don't know,
oh Lord.
It just seems like they doing that to get us to fight each other.
That tracks.
Well, Moochie, what you got going on?
Please come through tomorrow. We're gonna be talking about Power. We got a round table. We're gonna just talk about the whole, basically the last episode retrospect, and also maybe the timeline and what's gonna go on and where is Tariq going. So we're gonna discuss a lot of things. I also had an upload with Ray J talking about that. Tuesday is trending topics. We're gonna be talking about a bunch of stuff. I might have a Diddy update, don't know, but we'll be talking about that. Thursday we are doing Robin. That's a 2B thing. I'm gonna put something up in my community tabs because y'all gotta know what's going on the channel. So keep y'all notifications on and holler at your girl.
All right, and it's like
a new episode of Penguin tonight.
Yes, I'm going. Yes, because I'm gonna be talking about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
So Tulsa King tomorrow with Nita and Moochie gonna do, like you said, the round table for Power. Tuesday, I'm gonna do a double hitter of Fight Night because I'm doing it with Monique 69 Ways. Then I'm also getting in the car and driving over to the other platform and going over to with the ladies and do it with them. Wednesday, Erik Menendez, and then Thursday, I'm going to, along with Robin, but I'm also gonna be talking about Penguin on Thursday. Anybody want to join me, Ken?
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about Penguin, and then let me see. Just kind of like a little brief for the first 3 episodes, not scene by scene, but just kind of talk about the characters and stuff. Do that on probably 8:00 maybe on Thursday, and then Friday, Reasonable Doubt. I'm hosting that, and then I don't know. I'm glad to stop talking. I mean, after this week of Power, I don't want to be talking about no more Power. Move on from that. So we'll find something else. It'll just be on and on. It'll be on and on. It'll be some other stuff. Yeah. So I don't know why, Barbara. I'm picking up another show. I don't need to pick up another show, but I'm gonna pick up Penguin because it was good. It did hold my attention.
It is good.
It was very good. So I saw the first 2 over the weekend, and I'm gonna watch this third one. And then try to talk about that on Thursday. So, but yeah, so that's what's gonna be going on. It's gonna be busy. It's gonna be a busy week. Look like this month gonna be just as busy as September was. So, so that's what's going on. And I appreciate y'all talking about these crazy brothers. So we'll be doing an update. I guess if they walk in the street, we'll find out what's going on the next couple of months with them. So, because it looked like it ain't no end to it with all these shows, with these documentaries and whatnot.
Oh, if they get out, are we gonna revisit this?
Maybe we do a quick little, a quick little talking about, so we can give our points on what happened. So, Yeah, because now you know it's gonna be breaking news on TV. It's gonna be on the TV. It's gonna be on your phone. You're gonna be sitting there doing your thing, and then all of a sudden your phone gonna be buzzing. Breaking news: Menendez is out. Just so it's gonna be talked about. So yeah, I guess we had to talk about it. Yeah, we'll get together and talk about it, even if it's just for a quick moment. But yeah. So that's all I got. I ain't gas no more. So everybody in the chat, thank y'all for coming through. And